leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
First in the building. James on deck. Salute to you. What's good? Big shout out to Big Bunts and Boxing on deck. Yes, sir. Let's get it. What I was waiting for. Just been talking about the drug testing for EJ for a long time. Hey, man, you already know. I'm currently going back and forth with a nigga on Twitter right now about this shit. Hey, man, we're going to dive into it like it's a high board. You know what I'm saying? This is the Olympic training center. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing new. I just think it's relevant right now with everything that's going on. So we're going to provide you with an updated encapsulation because they talk about negotiating in bad faith for a fight that wasn't going to happen due to a lot of things. And we already know it's a touchy subject when you try to bring up what's evident that the man wasn't ready to fight. He was overweight. Why? Due to his own admission, he was overweight. Due to his own admission. And on deck, what's good? What's good? Let's get down to the wickets on why this is a huge topic that these pro Spence supporters will not speak on. Now, I've been talking about Spence for quite some time, not being signed up to VADA after he fought Sean Porter. We're going to speak on that. But recently, what's in the come to the light? People up here talking about they haven't fought. Well, guess what? Your mans have just made it public that he was still ballooning up in weight and everything else, right? He was gaffing off boxing. He wasn't taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about his mischievous ways when it came to his discipline in boxing. But I always wanted to say, I know I got some archives out there. And I found a very good archive of a tweet that he put out there long time ago around the Danny Garcia situation, you know, when he stepped in there. Let's start diving into this situation. This tweet right here says, Errol Spence, I had stopped going to the gym like I used to, which kept me out of a lot of BS. Now, why would you stop going to the gym like I used to, which kept me out of a lot of BS? Why would you do that? If the gym kept you out of a lot of BS, why would you stop going there? It's called selfishness, people. It's called that he wasn't fully dedicated to the sport. This is the part that they won't tell you all, man. They will not sit up here and explain this shit to you and to an extent where you are looking at it from a observation perspective. I'm not diving in trying to, be an inquirer on this dude. This is public record. He said, I had stopped going to the gym like I used to, which kept me out of a lot of BS. That means kept him out the streets, kept him from doing what he was doing in the streets. And obviously those that was around him in the streets, they enjoyed his company. They didn't care too much to tell him, hey, champ, you really should be focused on your career. It goes on to say, I went from taking a couple of days off after a fight to a week to 2 weeks, a month, then until I got a fight date. I bet you won't hear these pro Spence supporters who love talking about contracts. Y'all love talking about contracts, right? But you refuse to speak on what's evident. That goes to all of you. I done told y'all several times before, you all have an agenda to continue to speak on moving in bad faith when Terrence Crawford has absolutely been moving as good as you possibly can as a fighter that's respected for his craft. Not just the way he performs in the ring, but how he treats it outside the square too. That's all we need to know. But they continue to bring up the narrative without including information like this. I've been on record several times asking, why isn't this man signed up for VADA? Why is he not signed up for VADA for Udenas Ugas fight? And he wasn't signed up for VADA for the Danny Garcia fight. It's public record. But they don't think nothing of it. All they want to talk about is the heavy lifting and how he got the WBC title and every other title and how he took the easy route and how it was beneficial to his career. Well, I'm challenging you all. I'm challenging you pro Spence supporters. I'm challenging you to do a live stream on this. Because I'm looking at it like, if you all can create all these live streams about Bud, well, this has to be a topic that concerns you enough to speak on it, because Bud has never been questioned on if he was signed up or tested dirty for anything. But you have all these discrepancies over here where this man had come on and made an admission that looks very bad. When you talk about the VAD, you all are busy talking about he's moving bad and all this. This is grown men now. This is grown men who are able to cognitively process what's right from wrong. And they know damn well what they're talking about is wrong when it comes to identifying what Arrow has been doing to hinder his career. They want to talk about contracts, but they don't want to talk about the act itself. Let's talk about the act itself. This man has been brushing off, doing the necessary things in between fights to stay healthy, to maximize his ability to go in there and beat the best and continue to perform at the highest level. See, people sit up here and say, oh, he's still undefeated though. Well, is he undefeated as a clean fighter? Is he? Because listen, one thing I totally understand is enough of is the biological makeup. I understand a little bit of it from reading and maintaining a healthy lifestyle myself. You know what I'm saying? And I used to look at these pictures, but I didn't care. I didn't care to speak on them, because when you start putting things out there like this without any type of substantiated or culpable evidence, right? People look like you making false accusations. They saying you defaming somebody's name. They want to hold you liable. They'll try to, have somebody do a cease and desist. Well, you can't do a cease and desist on this. You know why? Because it's facts. This is facts. This is absolutely fact. Let's get to an audio of a live stream. I say way back in the day. It's your favorite It's your favorite freaking content creator, Boxing Ego. I remember listening to him do this live stream. I was like, boy, that Spence man, if they only paid attention to what he has going on, and this was years ago now. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention.
Where I started. This is my roots in this game. You know, I wasn't covering fights and stuff. So I'm just going back to my roots. It's like Eminem going back to battle rap or something. You know, even though he did the industry stuff and released albums, you know, he could still go back to. So, you know, for now, I'm going back to where I started. This is my roots in this game. Graduated to 2 weeks to a month until I got a fight date. So from Errol Spence's own admission, he is telling you he went from taking, you know, having a fight, Chris Algieri or whoever, and taking a couple days off directly after the fight to, you know, I'll just take a week. Then that week grew to 2 weeks. Then that 2 weeks grew to a month. Then he started only training probably when he got that phone call. You know, his manager, his team, his trainer, whoever says, hey, we got that fight over the line. And then he'll start training. So I think Errol Spence.
And that's a fact, because when he was on the Rocks podcast, he admitted to that. You know what I'm saying? He'd just say, okay, I got this amount of weeks to train, but he'll still be going out to the club. This is his own admission. So when you speak about anything dealing with bad faith or moving bad, you should include his name first. If you're talking about two names, Spence, Crawford, this should be the lead, and Crawford shouldn't even be a part of the conversation. That's real talk. A coward have to stand up sooner or later and admit his own fault. And that's what I'm asking you all to do. The ones that continue to talk about contracts. What the hell a contract is going to do when a fighter is not even in shape? A fighter's not even in shape. He wasn't in shape to fight last year, and he still wasn't in shape beginning of the first semester of 2023. It's facts, y'all. Whether you want to believe it, I don't care. But this is public record.
What he's talking about, you know, I commend him. There's a lot of people in the comment section saying this, that, and the third. You on my channel, so you're here from my perspective. I commend Errol Spence. You know, some people are saying, oh, why do you admit this? And, you know, you fell off. They're using it. Errol Spence, see, this is what I don't understand about this social media age. I really don't. That's why I come in, I make my money on social media and on the internet, and then I bounce. You know, I'm not no internet dude. I'm a real person, you know. And one thing I don't understand is, I don't know if Errol's like this, but I would imagine most stand-up people are. But like for me, the world gets to see online what I show them. No more, no less. So if Errol Spence didn't want this information out there, then he didn't have to tweet this. So people, I don't think, you know, Errol Spence is like so slow where if he wasn't on his ish, he would put out the chinks in his armor. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would put out something that makes him feel vulnerable if it was still a current vulnerability that he was dealing with. And he has just announced his big fight with Danny Garcia. Again, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but.
So I wanted to kind of pause right there, because this is not a new video now. This is him prepping for his tune-up with Danny Garcia. This is not a new video. This is not something that's as an attachment to On the Rocks. This is new information now. This is only new information to the people. I mean, this isn't new information. This is information that people like myself and plenty others have known for quite some time, that this man has been pretty much cutting corners. He's been cutting corners in a way where he's ballooning up in weight, but yet the argument is he's never missed weight. Well, it's good when you have that protection. We can assume he has that protection over there. That's why he refused to leave. He has that protection because he needs it. He's in deep. He's in deep with where he's at right now. Yes, he has the titles, but him coming back injured, I told people, I said, there's no way for this dude to come back for the amount of damage that he's suffered and to be absolutely healthy and cutting weight and all that. So now the evidence is coming out More information is coming back from the past to the present. Why? Because it all makes sense. It all makes sense. He's been at this for years, but yet you have these guys up here talking about negotiating in bad faith. Negotiating in bad faith. You truly believe that the agenda that y'all trying to run, the vendetta that you have against this dude, as human beings, that's going to continue to fly? Yeah, only to the ones who don't really do research and not avid boxing fans. If it gets enough of you all to talk about the same topic, yes, it will convince those who really don't go in depth, because everybody's not a content creator. But let's talk about the ones who are and willing to go in depth about it. A lot of stuff has been public record for a long time, and you all have did a poor job at the cover up. Y'all been trying to cover this up for quite some time. Y'all been trying to cover this shit up for quite some time. You knew he's been having problems. He was at PBC drunk and inebriated. He stumbled into the ring after Sean Porter had picked up the WBC title, fighting for the vacant with Danny Garcia. He stumbled in the ring. They just gonna say the only time I really seen him drunk in public was at the PBC event. That's a cap. He was drunk in the parking lot with his boys. That was on camera. He was drunk over there when he stumbled in the ring and say he want to fight Sean Porter next. And Sean Porter's like, oh, you're going to take my glory like that? Okay, we can fight next. He didn't fight him next. All this is fact. He couldn't fight him next because he had to freaking find a way and have enough time to drop that freaking weight. Yeah, he was going to end up fighting for the title whenever they make that happen. But he was ballooning up in weight so much, drinking. This man's been in front of the camera several times, intoxicated. Go back and watch Sean Porter's post-fight, and you will see Errol Spence stumbling to the ring, drunk. Drunk, y'all. And talk about fighting Sean Porter for the belt next, knowing he wasn't on weight. But now, a lot more information is coming to light, boy. Oh, my God. A lot of information is coming to light. It's a lot of people stepping up and identifying what's been out on the web for quite some time. It seems like Spence has been cutting corners, possibly. It seems like he's been cutting corners, y'all. You know, you just look, weight. It's not that easy to balloon up and then just drop that weight like, You remember what Tyson Fury said? Tyson Fury said everybody's on drugs. That's what Tyson Fury said, not WCS. Tyson Fury said that.
To me, that don't make sense. So a lot of the comments were kind of stupid. You know, people were saying, oh, you fell off. And look, someone said, bro, what the F you on? And Errol Spence responded to that. He said I had, motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's like people were like overly judging him for this admission, and he's telling you what he did wrong. So I believe he's trying to get right. You know, I don't think he would be saying that if he was still struggling. It looks like he bought a farm after that.
Well, if we're talking about Cap, still with this fresh robbery that we witnessed, and you're going to waste my time, I'm going to definitely give you my time, right? I'm going to hit you with some more facts. Boxing Ego just read off Errol Spence's response and saying, I used to. But per him being in front of the lens once again, that was Cap. Because he admittedly said that even after the accident, he was still going out to the club. Now, how and why do I not hear you all talking about that in bad faith? Why aren't y'all talking about that in bad faith? That's extremely concerning to me that you all refuse to talk about that in bad faith. Now, you have to wake up and understand that you held accountable, not just in your household, but out here as a civilian. You know what I'm saying? I'm rapping the gavel on y'all ass, man. Like y'all have to come up here and start having some type of esprit de corps. You know what I'm saying? Some type of principles about yourself. If you're in there teaching your kids about principles, but yet you out here being a liar and a scoundrel, shame on you. Shame on you, man.
The accident that Well, sometimes when people have that come to Jesus talk, like, bro, he could have lost his life in that accident. Maybe that's all it took for him to reroute his plans and be like, whoa, we got to get back focused, got to what got us here. So I don't really have a problem with Errol being honest because he's making M's. He's about to make more M's. We got to see how he looks versus Danny Garcia, first fight back. But
it's not even about the M's unless you're talking about morals, because morals seem like they're totally absent in this whole equation. Just the inclination that we have to sit here and endure these voices that continue to talk about contract and talk about Terrence Crawford, who knew what was going on behind the scene. He even sent a tweet. Yeah, the people telling me that you back on that yak, or you must be back on that yak. I'm not quoting this verbatim. They telling me what you're doing over there. You need to stop. Stuff like that. This is information has been out here for quite some time, and it's terrible that these individuals will go and align themselves with someone who they wouldn't even want their daughter or son to date, who was having a habit like this. If your son was out here and a female came over and she was fucked up, she'd be like, son, come on, son, let me talk to you in the back. She's what's wrong with her? She seems like she's intoxicated. Did you tell her you was coming to meet your parents? Yes, Dad. Ain't nothing I can do about it. She loved her. She get her drink on, Dad. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, when she's sober, she's a pretty good person. No, that's disrespectful. That's a red flag, son. You can't have her coming up in this house and she's all inebriated like this. Your daughter. Oh, hey, how you doing? Is that alcohol I smell in his breath? Well, why are you bringing him to me like this? What's going on? Does he have a job? Do he drink on his job? How are you supposed to function? How are you supposed to think about having a family with this man? Who drove over here, first of all? Did he drive or you drove? Because I don't want him putting my daughter in danger. But they'll get on here and support Spence, who's had several situations out the ring. And they will not hold this man accountable for nothing. They won't hold him accountable for nothing. I don't have any other word except cowards do what cowards does. I know you may not like that word as a coward, bro. All of you. But you're sitting up here creating video after video, and you refuse to speak on how this man has ruined himself. And though I respect and salute that he came out and spoke on it, let's talk about, the ones that haven't spoke on it. Who is you? How do you travel in life and say, I see this going on. I'm supposed to be a boxing avid. I see this going on, and I always want to sit on here and act like I'm the best debater. I know everything. And we want to talk about Crawford when you should be talking about your favorite fighter. That's who you should be speaking on. Your favorite fighter who has problems. I'm not judging this guy. I'm talking about strictly what's going on in the media.
This is a real life story that a lot of boxers go through, a lot of boxers went through, and it ain't going to change. That's just human nature. It's not even just boxing, but boxing's near and dear to my heart. So, that's why I'm focusing on that. But I like other sports too. And I'm sure it's just athletes in general. You come from impoverished areas. You come from the hood. You come from the ghettos and slums and, just areas where you never had a chance. You didn't get Christmas presents and stuff like that to making millions. You might make some mistakes along the way. Look at Mike Tyson. Look at Zab Judah. I like Danny Garcia, made a best man win, but I do like a good underdog story. I like that people can show you can reach the depths of despair and make bad decisions. I know people.
And that's why I had to cut Boxing Eagle off. No, that sounds stupid. Because people shouldn't have to go through adversities, self-inflicted adversities, and people award them for going through those adversities. I said something one time, right? For a person who used to go out and run 5 to 8 miles easy, right? I come back sometime, take my shirt off, and I was up there doing calisthenics on the freaking sidewalk by the roadway. You know, I'll be sometimes a long ways from where I'm actually standing. People's like, dang, you know, he all the way up here, but he stay down there, right? So being in the Marine Corps always had this UCMJ, like this custom and courtesies, like these weight standards. And I always was, for my height, I weighed more than I supposed to. But when it came down for the physical fitness evaluation, they always took your body fat percentage, right? So I remember having this meeting where they had some people in there talking that same type of energy that Ego was just talking about, adversities and how they gaining weight and it's so tough. And then I said straight up, I said, listen, for us, the guys, we don't get to make an excuse for gaining weight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you're undisciplined. You're undisciplined. Why did you make the choice in the first place? You saw the weight coming on, you're undisciplined. We get reprimanded quick. Female, this says she had a baby 10 years ago. Oh, I'm still trying to work off my baby fat. It's been so difficult. It's been a challenge. And they all want to gather around. You know, we're here for support. We're here for support. Okay. We're going to get you through it. We know your kid going on 11 years old, but we're going to get you through it. So your weight standard, okay, your weight standard is supposed to be 112 pounds, but you're currently at 177 and a half. Okay, it looks like you've been hanging out, eating yakisoba. You know, you haven't been maintaining the diet, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get you through it. You know what I'm saying? People act like you got to face adversity first to learn. Like some dudes will sit up here and say, okay, well, I respect you more because you face adversities in the street. You kept going back and back and back, and you have, you know, time that you spend in prison. Like I said before, it's some good people that learn from their mistakes. But to sit up here and say, well, I respect Spence for continuing to go back and revisit things when he know he had other people that depended on him, starting with his parents. His parents got love for the man, and they are ecstatic every time they get to see him training for a fight and going on TV and fighting. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy who's an Olympian, a part of one of the worst boxing Olympic teams, but he was an Olympian. Okay, at the end of the day, he was. But when it comes down to commending or trying to even give him any type of congratulatory praise, you know what I'm saying? So, oh man, I like to see people, the swan song story, they came back. No. What about the ones who didn't? I always used to be like, y'all praise the ones who are losing all this weight, but what about the ones like myself who sustain themselves enough not to gain all that weight? I want to say, what about me? You know what I'm saying? What about the mental strength it takes? Like you're not gonna walk around here shredded all the time, but when you are having people doing all the Biggest Loser. Now, if you didn't know just based off the site what the Biggest Loser was, you wouldn't even give a. You're like, what? The Biggest Loser? I ain't no loser. But they're talking about weight, and the more fucked up it gets, is when you find out that they give you the post story on how they lost all that weight and they had all this team around them and everything. But when the show was over, David Copperfield, baby. You know what I'm saying? David Copperfield. Poof, be gone. They don't have those individuals there no more with them to help them, to motivate them, and they pack on that weight again. You know what I'm saying? But this is not the area and the direction we need to go with Spence, because he has plenty of people around him to get him where he need to be for fight camp. What about what was this I was hearing? His trainer, right? So where was his trainer at? if he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, where's the training when it comes to putting a bug in his ear? Because these same individuals is talking about, oh, he listens to his trainer. He gives him good advice from the corner. Where was him when they was in the gym and they wasn't in the corner? When he had them right there, can reach out and touch him and say, hey, man, chill. You know, I know you respect what I say. You need to stay out the street. Please do me that favor, stay out the street. We're trying to build a legacy. Okay, we're trying to become undisputed. If that's what you want to do, I'm here. And then Errol said, okay, Derek, I respect you enough to stop this. No, that wasn't it. But you would hear them fools over there talking about him giving instructions and he the trainer of the year and Errol listen to everything he said. No, that's not the case. Stop the cap. That is not the case.
People that went to prison for years. I'm out the gym for a week, then 2 weeks, then a month. Then I'm out the gym the whole time until my next fight is announced. And then I start doing a fat camp, So if he's already in shape now, so you already ahead of the curve. I like it. I love it. Danny Garcia.
See, this is where it gets tricky. He said he's already in shape. I can look at the person, tell if they're in aesthetic shape or conditioning shape. It's just all about the density of their muscles. A person can have a drastic weight cut that's chemically enhanced or supported, and they can lose weight, but it looks different, especially when you're talking about the fitness realm. When you're talking to somebody who competed on the big stage, you know what I'm saying? Your muscles have a different fullness to them if you're not on pads, a different fullness. You know what I'm saying? A different thickness about your muscle mass when you're cutting down the proper way. When you use chemicals to enhance that, you have these little knots that you will get. You have this dry look to you. And plus, sometimes you burn off muscle too. You burn off more muscle. It depends on how you took. If you just took a cutting agent and boxing, you have to make weight and still be able to go in there and perform and have maybe 1, 2, 3 training sessions. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, we're sticking to topic and we want to remind people what's in the dark comes to the light, baby. Check this out right here. Victor Conte. We already know. Mr. Balco himself. We know who he is. This man is in charge of the scientific nutrition, advanced conditioning, snack. You see it, snack. This is the man who went to prison for the Balco scandal back in the day. It's public record. He went for the Balco scandal where you heard these names come up like Jason Giambi, Barry Bonds, Marion Jones, Bill Romanowski. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Victor Conte putting this out recently. Go to his Twitter, y'all. Go to his Twitter. It's not anything that's not accessible. This is not something I'm making up. This is something that definitely WCS is speaking about, but them Arrow supporters would not talk about. Because this, for a long time, what I've been saying about this moving in bad faith are from grown adults. They will not mention information like this. Conte said, hey, Errol Spence Jr., please check your DM and respond to VADA 24/7, 365 sponsorship offer made of 100% of the annual fee. At Terrence Crawford, he added him, has agreed to accept and participate if you are also willing. Please let me know either way. Much respect, both of you. Thank you in advance. Ooh, hiccups. Oh my God. That's spicy right there. Did he just add both of them and say that Terrence Bud Crawford agreed to this? But he put down there at the bottom just what I've been speaking about for quite some time, that Errol Spence has not been signed up for VADA since June 2019. Why is that? It seems like he's moving in bad faith. If you're the WBC world champion, right? Why haven't Derek James recommended this man be and signed up? If he listens to everything Derek says, and he's such a good listener, I swear you, he's such a good listener. Why hasn't he signed up for VADA since 2019? All the braggadocious freaking narratives that I hear about how he came back and fought Danny Garcia. Was he clean? I'm just asking. I'm not assuming anything. Was he clean though? Was he clean? Was he clean? Was Sean Porter before or after he fought Danny Garcia? Was it before or after? All I'm asking you all. This is Victor Conte's post that I screenshotted. I mean that someone sent me, but I went and screenshotted my own. But shout out to the Trick who dropped this to me. So what I did, I went over there to his freaking Victor Conte. I went and checked it out for myself, and it is the one at the top of the thread. And he's putting it out there. He is putting it out there. Errol Spence Jr., please check your DM and respond to the VADA 24/7 365 sponsorship offer made of 100% of the annual fee. At Terrence Crawford has agreed to accept and participate if you are also willing. Do you think this is something that a fighter needs to accept to prove that they're not just cutting corners and coming in there dirty, and have the protection to make sure they drop the weight all the way down, the system is clean, and look, your system don't really need to be clean if it's no drug testing. So isn't it commendable if both fighters can sign up to this? Supposedly, if they're going to fight one another, if they can sign up for VADA, for the clean boxing, isn't it something that you should be talking about on your live streams when it comes down to for the good of the sport? This is it, right? Victor Conte put that shit out there, and he added both fighters, y'all. He added both fighters. So this is not something that either fighter is unaware of. Both fighters are added. He said Terrence Crawford has agreed, and Terrence hasn't sent no tweet in rebuttal and say, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, please let me know either way. Much respect, both of you. Thank you in advance. Now, we already know why a person like Victor Conte can send an email out like this, a tweet out like this. We know his position, how, he was in there singing like a Tweety Bird. I get it. I get it, bro. I get it. But when it comes down to Spence, are you going to sign up for the clean boxing program? Because it's going to look quite funny if you do not sign up for VADA in the toughest fight of your life. It's going to be, oh my God. I don't think it's any amount of money that you can sit up here and offer to Crawford for him not to sign up for the VADA. And that tell him that, oh, the reason why you don't want me to sign up, what's understood don't need to be explained, homie. I don't think at all that Crawford's that type of person that's going to allow you to come into the fight dirty. And he just have to fight not only you, but all those enhancements that you may have inside. Nah, hell no, shawty. Hell no. Don't feel no type of way about WCS. I'm just telling you what's out there for me to speak on. And this is extremely important. This right here, you want to talk about moving in this, that, and the other, and whatever, and refuse to talk about this. Fuck the contracts, nigga. Let's talk about clean boxing in a clean manner. A fair level playing field. That means you're not going in there juice to the gills, as they call it. We want a clean fight, especially a fight of this magnitude. We want something that's clean. We want both fighters to be clean. Not one fighter that's coming in there juiced up like the Incredible Hulk and doing some shit we ain't never seen him doing all his other fights. Come in there regular now. Cut weight the right way now. Cut weight the right way. You don't sign up for VADA, we're going to know there's some shortcuts that happen. You're going to come in, oh, man, look at that. He's in shape like they always do. Oh, he's in shape. Look at his six-pack. Look at his eight-pack. Oh, he's super. Okay. All right. Let's address the thumbnail. All right? Because I didn't do that initially. Let's talk about the gynecomastia. The gyno, as we call it in the fitness industry. Gyno. If you look in the thumbnail to your right, there are some green circles that are identifying possibly gynecomastia. Do y'all know what gynecomastia is? It is a benign, non-cancerous condition that may be linked to many different causes of hormone changes. Okay? Gynecomastia is often caused by changes in levels of hormone estrogen, female hormone estrogen, and the male hormone testosterone, but it can be caused by other things as well. Gynecomastia can be a side effect of certain medicines, such as antidepressants, antibiotics, chemotherapy, prostate cancer medicines, ulcer, cardiovascular medicines, illegal drugs, baby. Illegal drugs such as anabolic steroids. Yes, it is in the definition. I'm not lying. Matter of fact, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to post it in the chat. Okay, so people won't even know. People won't even assume I'm just making this up. I just posted what I'm reading from right now. Okay, gynecomastia can be a side effect of certain medicines such as antidepressants, antibiotics, chemotherapy, prostate cancer medicines, ulcer or cardiovascular medicines, illegal drugs such as anabolic steroids, heroin, and marijuana can also cause gynecomastia. Okay, some diseases and medical conditions may also cause gynecomastia. These include liver diseases, kidney diseases, lung cancers, testicular cancer, tumors or adrenal glands or pituitary glands, some conditions that a baby is born with, congenital disorders, thyroid disorders, injury or trauma, obesity. Okay? All right, end quote. All right? So when you're looking at the picture, it seems like there is some soft tissue swelling. For whatever reason, I cannot prognose this, man, but all I'm saying to you is Victor Conte has sent out the request. So the task that I'm giving to the pro Spence supporters is that you take ample time to ensure that if you want to talk about contracts being signed, you need to make sure your fighter is clean. You need to make sure your fighter is clean. You need to make sure your fighter is clean, bro. That's all I'm saying. Make sure your fighter is clean. Make sure your fighter is clean. That's what I want from you all. I want you to stop talking about superficial shit, surface type information that looks good, but beneath the surface, it means of little value. Okay? Stop acting like you want to put all these rubby duckers on the surface and stuff like that. But when you go underneath, it's trash and all this other debris that you're trying to keep from them breaching the surface. No, speak on this. Just like you talk about contracts. Speak on everything, the entire consolidation leading up to this fight being delayed. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just saying people want to have all these supposedly educated live streams talking about negotiating in bad faith and he didn't sign the contract, and boxers' wives up here acting like they know everything and biased as hell. I guarantee you won't speak on this if you call connecting yourself and linking up. Just because you're in on a team doesn't mean that you're sitting up here speaking non-biasedly. No, speak on everything. If you're going to speak on it, speak on everything. Don't speak on a portion of it. If we want to talk about contracts, truth be told, it don't matter if a contract was signed or not if the fighter's not ready to fight. So how dumb is Crawford if he would have signed a freaking contract, first of all, that was quite different than what he agreed to initially? Not only that, he signed the contract and still would have been outside the ring over a year and a half. Man, how smart is he? We talk about brilliant minds all the time. How brilliant was that to fight David Abanesian instead of sitting on your hands, waiting on a fighter to be in a position health-wise to step back in the ring, and you be out over a year and a half just to see if you're going to fight this dude that you locked in the contract? Man, come on, bro. You missed out on a big-ass payday. They always talking about how boxing is a business first, right? But yeah, you busy up here complaining about the dude making money. Come on, you business experts. You want to talk about how boxing is a business first, but you keep complaining about this dude making money. You want him to go in there and you want to have all these debates on, oh, well, he offered this and he offered that, and Al didn't want to do this and didn't want to do that, and he didn't sign the contract. I thought it was a business, though. Look, this is how contradicting these cowards are, right? These dudes will sit up here and talk about Crawford should have signed a contract for low money for no damn reason. Like he's desperately, like he hasn't established himself. Boxing is a business, right? So they want Crawford to go ahead and sign a contract, even though the whole entire deal is not what he agreed to in the term sheet. Not only that, they wanted this man to take less money so he wouldn't be able to feed his family the way he should, or any type of investments that he wanted to put that money towards. He could do that. They wanted this man to negotiate in bad faith. They wanted this man to sign a contract in bad faith. They wanted him to take minimal money. You know what that's called? Hating ass niggas. That's what that's called. When a person is not trying to see you maximize what you've worked so hard for, all the accolades that you've achieved, they want you to sit up here and just take anything, but yet get online. They get online to YTC and talk about why he ain't signed the contract. Not even guaranteed that Crawford wouldn't even be in the ring as we speak if he would have signed the freaking contract for 2023. You know what I'm saying? For 2023. For 2023 now. Being that this man can read, he said, that's not the year we agreed on. Sign the contract. But that's not what I agreed on in the last term sheet. Sign the contract. You can look at this one right here. Sign the contract. Isn't that what they used to, they criticize black people for a lot? They say if you ever want to put a secret somewhere, put it in a book because black people don't read. I'm seeing a lot of that shit today. It's kind of changed now. It's kind of changed. You don't have to put a secret in a book, because we read. We read. But only isolated to the YTC is where you see where you able to witness how people lower their literacy. They have the brains. They might have some sense of percentage of intelligence, but they selectively choose to be less than. They say, I'm willing to play the fool. I love playing dumb. I love it. That's what they're doing now. They have all the resources. They have all the freaking ability. They have all the psychological mechanics. Their brain is functioning above average. You know what I'm saying? They're functioning in life to be able to go to their employment each and every day and return home, right? But yet they'll sit up here and look at a situation that they know deep down inside, if they was in that position, they wouldn't even do it. They wouldn't even do this. They wouldn't even go up there and just sign any freaking contract. Especially if they know they had worked their ass off and made all these sacrifices. They wouldn't sign no motherfucking contract like that. They wouldn't. Look, these cats was up here trying to have Crawford take the least amount of money possible. Where they do that at? Well, where they do that at? Like, how can you sit up here and say you want the man to take less money? Isn't that negotiating in bad faith if you're worth more than that? No matter what the numbers are, because Spence went into the freaking Mikey Garcia fight with no fucking numbers. No numbers at all. He didn't have no pay-per-view numbers, but yet all of a sudden they want to act like whatever numbers they put out there, it was strictly based off the strength of Errol Spence's popularity in Texas. Man, if you don't stop the cap, they want this man to negotiate in bad faith because they don't like him. The man has never did nothing to him. I want you to picture something right quick. Imagine what you're witnessing here on the YTC, on how you have a large group of black channels colluding or conspiring to run a smear campaign of hate against Terrence Bud Crawford, right? Imagine what it was or what it would be if these same individuals back on the plantation and we was growing in the same era. We was growing up together in the same era. What do you think it would be back then when we were striving to get out of a situation like that? We wanted to be free. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be free and go on to something bigger and better. What about the ones who disrupted a plan on some of these slaves who was trying to run away? And they was up here conspiring to keep themselves in the same situation. These people in this YTC, they conspired to keep themselves right in the same situation, talking about the same fighter each and every time. They don't care how much it takes. They continue to lower their standards. If it's scum, what they're trying to be, is scum is what they would absolutely play out in full character. It takes scumbags to sit up here and push a smear campaign on somebody just because you want them to take a little bit of money here and there, and it's not even your money. We're talking about somebody that's calling him out to join the VADA, the clean drug program, the voluntary anti-doping agency. They are sitting up here ignoring the fact that this man is fucked up, and all this information is coming out. They saying to themselves, wow, I didn't think of it like that. Because WCS has mentioned this before. I've logged in and, I made a point to say that he haven't been signed up since June of 2019, prior to stepping in the ring with Sean Porter. But these dudes are talking about negotiating in bad faith. Let me ask y'all something. What did you all negotiate to run a smear campaign of defamation and lies on another black man? How do you sit up here around the people that you mingle with every day, that you want to go up here and kick this black power bullshit? How do you all sit up here and breathe and feel good without your blood pressure rising? You know what I'm saying? And feeling stressed out. How do you feel walking around knowing good and well that you have a living being that you are running a freaking smear campaign on every freaking day, but yet you want your listeners to think that you're something special in life. Listen, niggas, you ain't shit. If you're unwilling to talk about this right here, but yet you want to create all these scenarios on Crawford not signing a contract, this is way more serious and way more relevant at the end of the day. Because we're talking about if this fight is made this year, we need both fighters to be clean. We need both fighters to be freaking clean. We don't need any fighter going in there with an advantage just so y'all can say, well, from what it looks like, you know, he was giving Crawford hell early on. I mean, he looked better than what we ever seen him. I told you all, the best that we're going to get after the accident was for him to step in there and fight Udenis Ugas. That's the best Crawford we ever going to see. Because he had to get that other title. He didn't have to worry about being signed up to VADA. He was freaking on weight damn near a month and a half out. Hey, if you pro Spence channels can freaking debunk what I just said, go ahead. Go ahead, pull the video out of him doing open workouts. Pull the video. That's you have the media. Pull it. Dude wasn't just cut. He looked skinny. He looked frail. You know what I'm saying? Plus, especially, you know, you have to take in consideration after they weigh in, it's all cool because that's their argument, people. The pro Spence challengers will say he ain't never missed weight. Okay, but let's look at this. Let's look at the fact that it's possible for him to have the fight set at a certain date and he do a drastic weight cut during camp. These are professional elite fighters that we're talking about. They know how to drop weight, but it's mentally on how they choose to drop weight. Are you dropping weight by the book, maintaining your discipline, or you going out to the club doing training camp and then you lock in and say, oh man, this sucks, but here I go again. You know what I'm saying? Just like dope fiends, they know what it is. They know when it's gonna come time for the hit. They need to make sure it happens again. They need to go find something to cool that down. Boxers, their mindset is the ones who's locked in are locked in. They can maintain their diet, their discipline, their, you know, and everything else, and eat right, and they just maintain and they good. But those individuals that have a problem, it's way tougher for them to maintain that stability and sustainment, especially when it comes to alcohol. And one thing that I can appreciate that this man finally came out and people can't criticize Nate Jones no more is the fact that he brought it out himself recently. And guess what? These pro Spence channels refuse to speak on it because, like I said before, that's how cowards move. They'll sit up here and talk about brother, you know, my black brother. But yet they sitting up here running a whole freaking smear campaign for years on one black fighter that never did them wrong. If that ain't some slavish mentality, I don't know what is, bro. They're demonstrating to you what people criticize black people of doing. Not being able to grow a business together, not being able to sustain a freaking rapport with one another respectfully on a higher status quo than the average living. You know what I'm saying? Like you're really doing something above average and we keep that cohesiveness together and that unity. No, what they're doing is not unity. It's just a convenience to be a part of something. It's not unity. They're convenience. This is an opportunity for them not to address this drug shit, for them not to address the drinking, for them not to address him admitting that after the accident, he was still going to the club, brother. Do you see some gynecomastia? I do. Do I know what it's from? No. Has Victor Conte been on record as basically making note of it, identifying it? Absolutely yes. So before you make a video or before you mention my name, why don't you mention Mr. Conte's name first? Because this is the person that is very educated in this type of shit. Very educated. So do your research, because it's out there, on what he said about what he sees going on with Spence right now. I mean, back then, when this picture was taken. Yeah, it looks good, right? You know, you got the abdominal region there all cut up, shredded, dried out. It doesn't mean somebody else doesn't see that there may be some shortcuts taken. There may be possibly some performance enhancing drugs contributed to this. And this point in time, with everything that's happened with the accident, him admitting to drinking and all that, and this would be extremely damning. You know what I'm saying? I would have concern for Crawford going in there fighting a dirty fighter. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I can't get to everybody. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, though. Salute. You know what it is. Toby said, I noticed him and a couple other fighters lost a lot in weight when VADA said because of lockdown, they were going to stop the random tests. Hey, a lot of stuff that went on during that time. That's where people want to praise and act like someone was doing something special in 2020. No, what the hell was VADA going to do? What the hell VADA was going to do? What was USADA going to do during that time? It costs for drug testing, first of all. It costs, and that shit ain't cheap. Who you think paying for that? Who you think paying for that? I'm not saying that professional sports don't test at all. I'm just saying maybe someone should do a live on the costs for doing a drug test. Why don't they force fighters to be a part of VADA? Because look, I remember looking up some boxers' name, and the first thing I see when it comes to VADA, right? When I see that green check mark, Hold on for a second. Let me show you something. Let me show you something right quick. Y'all do me a favor and hit that like button if you're already in the building. I'm about to get to the comments. Let me show you something right quick. I'm about to show y'all something. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show y'all something. I'm about to show y'all something. Don't be mad at me for putting out the information now. People always talk about channels this, channels that. Okay, cool. Keep on talking. Dang, where's that at, man? Where's that at? I could have sworn I had that up there. Let me come back to it. Because I've been on here, what, an hour? I am Cam. What's good? One half of the apostles on deck, man. I see you. I'm just going through some of the comments, man. Just bear with me. It's a lot of comments in here. Shani would say, them dudes are soft punks. They said I wasn't solid because I'm no yes man. Called EJ out for his bullshit. They tried to assassinate my character, but look how it turned out. Team Tucker stepping on suckers. Yes, sir. No doubt about it, man. You know what I'm saying? You held true to your word, you know, since day one. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? But I want to ask you this, Showtime. Why aren't they willing to talk about what Victor Conte is putting out there? You know, about the VADA testing. Shout out to Big Bunch and Boxing. Shout out to Coach True Media today. It say if Victor Conte reached out to Crawford and Spence specifically for VADA testing, and Crawford agreed to it, but heard nothing back from Spence, then that's a hint as to what's to come. Hey, talk that, man. Talk that ish, man. You know what I'm saying? Well put. Well put. That's all I'm saying. When it comes down to, let me put that back up there. When it comes down to this man adding, he's adding them. He's adding 2 fighters who we're waiting patiently. Well, we ain't patient no more. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting to hear if this fight's going to happen. And all of a sudden, Conte is adding Terrence Crawford and verifying that he's agreed. Now, they'll get on here and say, oh, who believes him? Well, you better believe somebody who's in the feds. Not only that, you better believe him if he's allowed to come back and have his own freaking supplement, snack. You better believe him, dog. I mean, come on, man. It don't get no more clear than that. He added Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, bro. He said, please check your DM and respond to the VADA 24/7, 365. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Guy know his man boobs. Yeah. Gynecomastia. If you want to say man boobs, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Gas, Boxer Jazz, what do they do? OG, how you feeling? So I got to stop smoking to get rid of my man boobs. Man, I'm not getting to the man boobs. Shout out to Trick, man. Appreciate you dropping that gem to me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Shout out to Blunts too, man. Appreciate you, bro. Jamul on deck. What's good with it, bro? He said Bud was thinking family first. I need money this year. I was thinking more so family first in general. Isn't that why you box, to make money? So if you have bills to pay, it's smart business if you have an opportunity to fight. So you won't be considered inactive, which was another important point to make. He didn't want to go on the inactive. This man fought November 2021. We know this. And when he stepped in the ring in 2022, he was just outside of a year. This we know. So why in the hell is he going to look stupid, especially to those people who sitting up here saying, well, he was moving in bad faith? What if he would have been still out the ring to this day? When Spence was at Disney World? Tell me that. What if we still would have been out the ring November, right? December, January, February, March, April, May. That would have put him over a year and a half. And you trying to tell me this man didn't make the more intelligent move to get that check, to have a fight camp, to get in the ring? Come on, man. Look, Spence has already been out the ring a full year. Just think about all the dang praise and glory that was going on in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, we can't wait to get Dennis Ugas. Oh man, we can't wait to get in there. For what? That shit came and went. The man went looking for his mouthpiece, damn near got knocked out. You You know what I'm saying? Then he gonna come up here and say he wasn't hurt, which he clearly was hurt. But the fact remains, he's been out the ring a year. A year and a month to this date, shawty. A year and a month to this date, shawty. Eno said, bro, I'm starting to think Bud is a genius for doing things how he's done them. Can you imagine if he would have listened to these dudes? He would be effed. Yeah, he would definitely be in a predicament for which they try to speak on. Anyway, the man is carrying on the way a boxer and an athlete on his level supposed to, be. He's carrying himself in a way, like he's doing what is considered the esprit de corps. Like he's going around living the salubrity lifestyle, a healthy living. He's showing you the photos of him staying in shape, maintaining a six-pack. He's not showing you, pictures where he have clothes on and he's training because he's overweight and fat. And this even extends back to when they had that meeting. When Crawford reached out and grabbed him, he had a whole freaking red hoodie on and shit. And Crawford grabbed him and said, damn, bro, you fat. And then Spence tried to reach over there and grab him. He's like, oh, shit. This dude's in shape. He said, yeah, grab it again. Grab it again. Yeah, I'm in shape. It's been like that for quite some time, bro. It's just you have these delusional individuals that won't even use their, whatever honor system they basing this shit off of. They won't even take the decision and say, you know what, I need to do what's right. Not follow other people. I need to do what's right. Spence has been on and he admitted to it. When a motherfucker admit, but you still in denial, you still in motherfucking denial, dog. You should be ashamed of yourself, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Real talk. And you said Bud would still be sitting around, right, waiting on Spence to get healthy if he had just signed the contract. That's wild. Taking the BLK offer was brilliant. They thought they had Bud cornered. They thought they had a dummy, didn't they? They've been talking about this man was top ranked Toby. I told you. It makes us look bad. Notice I said us. I'm a black man myself since day one. So when my people out here acting stupid, I say us because I'm not separating myself from being black. I'm just separating myself from the ignorance and stupidity that's sitting out here that's consuming these people who's incapable of being strong enough to think for themselves. These niggas don't want to think for themselves. They're all up here pushing the same narrative. And look, they'll swear up and down. If you go to their panel and disrespect them, they'll say, oh, well, you just mad. You're not facing the truth. All he had to do was sign the contract. Dude, it's like introducing. I swear to you, it's like the first time you introduced those of you that had kids, or you was introduced to a bicycle for the first time, or more extreme measures, a skateboard. Somebody gave you a skateboard that has 4 wheels on it. And he's like, how do I have fun on this motherfucker? Until you went and you witnessed somebody doing some shit on how in the hell, what? They seem to be amazed just off the fact that they're able to speak on Errol Spence the way they do. And they actually believe they have a larger presence than what they actually do. Just because they all together doesn't mean there's one sheep or wolves in sheep clothing. Because if a wolf is that close to the herd, it's there to consume, it's there to prey on whoever. A wolf is not there to just mingle amongst the crowd and say, hey, I'll be your alpha today. After I just finished eating one of your people, I'll be back. I'll make sure no other wolf come by you now. I'll make sure one of y'all get attacked no more. I just had to make sure I dip in, get mine. Okay. The rest of y'all are safe for now. These dudes will sit up there and continue to talk on Bud Crawford, another black man. Look, is another black man, but yet go out here in public and be up here speaking all politely, you know what I'm saying, around their coworkers. Yes, you know, the way I raise my kids, I just want them to be leaders. I want them to set the example for others to emulate and follow in life. I just want them to be in a position where others look up to them. They're able to change, make changes in life. That's what I want for my kids. I don't want them to be like, you know, what I am. You know, I have a double life. I go on YTC and I just really lie to a lot of people. Really. And I don't want my kids to be like me. No, not at all. I'm a scoundrel. I am an absolute scumbag. And you know, I have to live with that every day. You know, when I'm driving home from work, I'm running through red lights. You know why I'm driving that fast? Because I have to go to where I feel comfortable, where I feel like my presence is much more redeemable every day. You know, when the sun expires from being a coward that day, and then the new day come in, I say, dang, it feels good to be a coward. You know, I have to accept that I'm a coward. You know what I'm saying? The actions that I commit over and over again on this YTC in the boxing, I have to say, dang, I know that Errol Spence is out here fucking up. I know he's not the guy he used to be. And even then, this dude was on record as saying he was messing up. But for me to know that he is admitted to all of this and to still get up and be the coward that I am, I'm talking about an esteemed coward. Whew. I just have to learn how to deal with it, because adversity, getting through adversity is everything. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Be honest. If you ever want to be a coward in life, just do this. If you won long enough, believe me, you become numb to it. All right? Just hit me in the DM and let me know you want a little membership. I can tell you how to be a coward. I can tell you how to be a coward, dog. If you really want to be a coward, talking about this boxer shit, all you have to do is look at how these black, content creators are out there spreading false information on another black man who has a family, a very athletic family at that. Not to mention, y'all, Bud has kids that pretty much they may slip and check out shit online. I'm pretty sure they're keeping them from doing something. I don't know. They're going to come a time where these kids are going to be of age to see what was being said about their pops. And the only way that they know what their pops was doing is that he freaking was in the gym. He was always in shape. They knew, okay, if I ever try to cross this man differently, it's going to be a problem. I respect my dad enough to know, hey, this is a different type individual. He at the top 3% in the world. He's different. These kids gonna have to go online and read old shit that these niggas was putting up about their pops, and it's something they can't even relate to. They say, I can't relate to this. Who put these? Where are these people at? How can you say my pops was doing this? I never seen it growing up. Caps in full. Salute, bro. He said Dr. Goodman gave a hell of a good interview on Boxing Life Stories channel 2 years ago. Great interview, really worth watching. Okay, that's what's up, man. If y'all in the chat, y'all check that out. Y'all tune in and come check out that interview. If you got the link, there, Toby, drop the link in there if you know where the link is at. Lost all the boxing on deck, the LAB. Salute, Q. How you feeling, fam? NO say I'm a scoundrel. Hey, man, listen. If I put a generalization out there about people being scoundrels and you embrace it, that's your own damn fault. That's your own damn fault. I don't have nothing to do with individuals saying, oh, so I'm a scoundrel. I don't have nothing to do with that. I said the individuals, they know who they are, who continue to push this wheelbarrow of narratives, right? And it's full of lies. It's full of lies, man. You got a wheelbarrow full of mud and rock. And you love toting that shit around. But back to Spence. I can't take it off Spence. I want to pay attention and see if you know the pro Spence supporters can pretty much do a live stream on this. We need for you to speak on something that's relevant now. Not what we used to seeing with you ignoring things and not paying attention to what's real. No, let's pay attention to what Victor Conte is putting out there. Let me remove this comment now. And I agree, Trick knows a lot of shit. He be talking on a lot of stuff when it comes to this. He ain't lying. He even put June 1st, 2019. He said, much respect, both of you. Thank you in advance. So he's saying thank you in advance. So what does this say? It gives a HOPE that the fight is happening sometime soon, right? I mean, Conte believes it's going to happen, right? So he said thanks in advance. So what he's doing is assuming that he would get a response. Hold on for a second. Yeah, but let me see. Terrence is setting an example to them kids of how you carry yourself with respect and dignity. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Real talk. That's all I'm saying. His kids are growing up and say, I never experienced this. My dad never gave me any type of indication that he was that dude. What are these guys talking about? And then he starts saying, are they black too? Do they not understand the business? And the wildest part about it is that they're not stopping anything from happening. They will talk about things that's already happened, but they had to understand that it was no way that they was going to stop this man from doing good business. It's like they're attempting, or they have been trying to sabotage this man's character for quite some time. While he was at Top Rank, it wasn't good enough for him. He was on the plantation, and they were saying that Bob Arum, was that guy who was the plantation owner. They called this man Top Rank Toby. It wasn't a white person who gave him that name. It was black content creators. You feel me? It was black content creators. Can't blame it on the white man. Or the white man made that name. No, it was black people out here running that smear campaign. And then when he left, you try to link him up to freaking Canahan. And then you found out he was over there with dang PBC. All you wanted him to do is sign anything. Take what they give you. Take what they give you. What kind of black pathetic shit is this? Just take what they give you. So you can shake your head once you don't sign the contract and you be on the shelf because, oh, shit ain't the way you thought. Oh man, I wasn't expecting to be on the shelf when I could have been making the largest paychecks of my career, but now I'm stuck on the shelf. And then the prejudice part about it is Canelo can go over there and scoop up a one fight. He don't have to sign a multi-fight deal. So they was feeling some type of way about Canelo scooping it up. So if Canelo can go over there for a one fight deal for a fight to scoop up a belt, right? Why can't Crawford? Oh, they're going to tell you that Canelo was bringing in a certain amount of money. That's why he got the special privilege. I got it. But still, he didn't sign a multi-fight deal with PBC. This shit is going on. It's not impossible for Crawford to sign a fight. He wants to sign the fight. But you think he's just supposed to sign anything they give him? If that man would have skipped out on a payday in 2012, it would have been on his mind to this day. To this day. He would have been sitting on his hands like, damn, I fucked up. And these niggas would have been on here. Oh man, Crawford, he been out the ring. I know he running low right now, ain't he? But see, they ain't saying that shit about the Charlos and Spence, but they would have been saying about Crawford. We got boxers that been out the ring for years. Like it's cool. And you're saying to yourself, how in the hell are y'all niggas getting paid? But salute to Crawford for standing on his shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And making those smart moves. They all ignorant sheep. Clowns. Definitely dirty, rotten scoundrels. Man, they dirty, rotten scoundrels, man, that need the public apologize to Cam. Right goddamn now. What's going on, Mr. Pad? Salute to you, brother. Yeah, man. Hey, y'all stay close to it. I just wanted to come on here and chop this up for a minute. And you know what I'm saying? I got to bounce and handle some business, but I'll be back on later. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all y'all pulling up and try to hit, try to do it. It's difficult for a lot of y'all, but y'all know I talk my shit, man. And y'all need to hit that subscribe button. Stop sitting up here playing around like, I just don't know who he is. And I don't care if I ever get 100. I can give a fuck. I'm just saying, hit the damn button if you choose to. You know what I'm saying? Hit the button. But I appreciate the ones who rock out with me, the soldiers, you know what I'm saying? The WCS, supporters who show up. Appreciate y'all for always interacting as always. I always show love to y'all, show some love back to the brother. Until next time, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.